Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Mary.
And I'm Brian. And Mary, before we even start, I need to tell you something that happened to me yesterday.
Oh no. Okay, go on.
So I'm in the elevator at my building, right? And this neighbor gets in, someone I've seen maybe 5 times before.
Okay, very normal situation so far.
Very normal. And then nothing. Just silence for like 15 floors.
15 floors of silence? That's brutal.
It was brutal, and the whole time my brain is screaming, say something, anything, you know how to talk, but I just stood there staring at the numbers going up.
Okay, this is so relatable actually, because just last week I was standing in line at the pharmacy, and the woman in front of me turned around and said something about the weather.
Oh, the classic weather comment.
The classic weather comment. And instead of just saying something easy back, my brain completely panicked. I thought, okay, what do people even say here? Do I agree? Do I add something? What's the right response?
And what did you actually say?
I just said, yeah, and looked away. That's it. That's my whole contribution to that conversation.
Okay, so between the two of us, we have a full 15 floors of silence and one very confident yeah.
Exactly. And I think this happens to so many English learners. You can hold a real conversation about your job, your family, even complicated topics sometimes. But this tiny, casual chit-chat, it suddenly feels impossible.
It's strange, right? Small talk should be the easiest part. It's literally called small.
But for so many of us, it feels like the hardest part. And today, that's exactly what we want to talk about.
Why small talk feels so much harder than it should, and more importantly, how to actually start enjoying it instead of dreading it.
Because once you get comfortable with small talk, so many doors open. Making friends, feeling relaxed at work, even just surviving an elevator ride.
Especially surviving an elevator ride. So stick with us today because by the end of this episode, that awkward silence is going to feel a lot less scary.
And if you've ever frozen during small talk, do us a favor and hit that like button right now. Because trust me, you are in very good company.
All right, Mary, let's figure out why small talk is secretly one of the hardest parts of speaking English.
Okay, so my problem is freezing, but you actually have a different small talk problem, don't you?
I do actually. Mine isn't freezing. Mine is the opposite. Sometimes I talk way too much and it gets a little much.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Okay, so a few months ago, I was at a friend's house and I met her cousin for the first time. Very simple situation. She just asked, "So how do you know Sarah?"
Easy question.
Extremely easy question. And instead of just saying, "Oh, we're old university friends," I somehow ended up telling her the entire story of how Sarah and I met, our whole friendship history, a funny story from college, and then, I don't even know how, I was suddenly talking about my job.
Wait, how did you get from Sarah to your job?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think once I started talking, I just got nervous about the silence coming back, so I kept adding more and more just to avoid that awkward gap.
Oh, that's so interesting though, because it's actually the same fear as mine, just a different reaction. You're scared of silence, so you fill it. I'm scared of saying the wrong thing, so I go quiet.
Huh, that's true. Same nervousness, opposite behavior.
And how did the cousin react to your whole life story?
She just kind of nodded slowly and said, "Oh, cool," and then looked at her phone, which looking back was probably her polite way of saying, "That was way more information than I needed."
Okay, that's such a classic small talk trap though. Either too little or too much. There doesn't seem to be an easy middle.
Right, and I think that's exactly why small talk feels so tricky for learners. In your native language, you just naturally know how much to say, but in a second language, that instinct isn't there yet. So you either shut down completely or panic and overshare.
It's like we're missing this invisible rule book that native speakers already have in their heads without even thinking about it.
Exactly. And today we're basically going to build that rule book together, piece by piece.
I love that. Okay, but first, let's actually talk about why this happens. Like, what's really going on when small talk feels this hard?
Yeah, let's get into the real reason behind it.
Okay, so here's something interesting I learned about this. Small talk is actually the hardest parts of language, even though it looks like the simplest.
Wait, really? That sounds backwards. It sounds backwards, but think about it. A deep conversation, like about your job, your opinions, your life, you can prepare for that a little.
You already know the topic, you have your own thoughts ready.
Exactly. But small talk is unpredictable. Someone might comment on the weather, a delay, a smell in the room, literally anything happening around you in that second. There's no way to prepare for it.
Oh, that's such a good point, actually. It's completely spontaneous.
Completely spontaneous. And on top of that, small talk relies really heavily on tone, rhythm, and short casual phrases, things that don't usually get taught properly in traditional English classes.
That's so true. I studied grammar for years, but nobody ever taught me what to say when someone says, "Crazy weather today, huh?"
Right, because that's not really a grammar problem. It's a cultural conversational skill, and those skills usually only come from actually hearing and practicing real conversations, not textbooks.
So it's not that our English is bad, it's that small talk is its own separate skill that nobody really teaches directly.
Exactly. And there's actually a psychological piece here too. Small talk often happens with strangers or people we don't know very well yet, which naturally makes us a little more self-conscious.
Right, because with close friends, you're relaxed. You're not worried about the impression you're making.
But with a stranger or an acquaintance, there's this little voice that goes, "What will they think of me? Will I sound confident? Will I sound friendly?" And that pressure alone makes the words harder to find.
So basically, it's the perfect storm. Unpredictable topics, no clear script, and social pressure all happening at the same time.
Exactly. No wonder it feels harder than a planned conversation about your job or your hobbies.
Okay, but here's the good news, right? If small talk really is its own skill, that means it can actually be learned and practiced just like anything else.
Absolutely. It's not some magical talent that only certain people have. It's really just a set of patterns, and once you know the patterns, it becomes so much easier.
Okay, I'm ready. What's the real purpose behind small talk anyway? Because I feel like understanding that might help too.
Yeah, let's talk about that next actually, because I think this changes everything once you really get it.
Okay, so what is the actual point of small talk? Because sometimes it genuinely feels pointless. Like, why are we discussing the weather for 5 minutes?
Right, and I think this is the biggest misunderstanding people have about small talk. We think the goal is to share information.
Which isn't the goal then?
Not really, no. The real goal of small talk isn't information, it's connection. It's basically a way of saying, "Hey, I see you, I'm friendly, and I'm open to talking," without saying those words directly.
Oh, that's such a helpful reframe actually. So when someone comments on the weather, they're not really that interested in the weather.
Not at all. It's just a safe, easy way to open a little door between two people. The weather itself barely matters.
So the content is almost unimportant. It's really about the tone and the willingness to connect.
Exactly. And once you understand that, the pressure to say something smart or impressive completely disappears. You don't need brilliant vocabulary, you just need warmth.
That takes so much pressure off, honestly, because I used to think I had to say something interesting or I'd sound boring.
But nobody's judging your vocabulary during small talk. They're just reading your energy. Are you friendly? Are you open? Are you present?
Right, and thinking about it that way, even a simple, "Yeah, it's really sunny today, I love this weather," is actually a complete success because it does the real job, opening that little door.
Exactly. It doesn't need to be clever. It just needs to feel warm and genuine.
Okay, I feel like this alone is going to help so many people relax about small talk.
I hope so, because honestly, once I understood this myself, small talk got a lot less scary for me too.
Okay, so if connection is the real goal, let's actually build some tools now. Like, what can people actually say?
Yes, let's build the toolbox.
Okay, so I think the easiest way to think about small talk is in 3 simple steps. Notice something, comment on it, and then open it up with a question.
Okay, break that down for me.
So, step 1, notice something happening around you. It could be the weather, a long line, slow Wi-Fi, anything shared in that moment.
So it's always based on something you're both experiencing together.
Exactly. That's what makes it safe. It's not personal, so there's no pressure. Step 2, make a light comment about it. Something like, this line is moving so slowly today, or this coffee smells amazing.
Simple observations.
Very simple. And step 3, turn it into a tiny question to open the door for the other person. Like, have you been waiting long, or do you come here often?
Oh, that's such a clean little formula. Notice, comment, question.
Exactly, and it works almost anywhere. Let's think of a few examples together. Weather. Beautiful day today, isn't it? Waiting somewhere. This is taking a while, huh? A shared activity. This place is really busy tonight.
And then always followed by a little question to keep it going.
Right. Are you from around here? Or have you tried this place before? Little questions like that keep the conversation gently moving without any pressure.
I also think it helps to have a few safe topics ready, honestly, for those moments when your brain goes blank.
Definitely. Things like the weather, food, weekend plans, or something happening in the room around you. Nothing too personal, nothing too deep.
And avoid things like politics, money, or anything too private, right? Just to be safe.
Exactly. Small talk works best when it stays light and easy for both people.
And what about responding? Because I think that's actually where I personally struggle more. Like someone starts small talk with me and I don't know how to keep it going.
Right. So the trick there is really simple. React, then add a tiny bit extra, then pass it back with a question.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. Someone says, crazy weather today, huh? Instead of just saying, yeah, you could say, I know, right? I definitely wasn't expecting rain today. Did you get caught in it?
Oh, that's so much better than just, yeah. It shows you're actually engaged and it keeps the conversation alive.
Exactly. React, add something small, then pass the ball back with a question. That little pattern alone can completely transform your small talk.
Okay, I feel like we need to actually practice this now. Should we do a little role play?
Let's do it. I promise not to tell my whole life story this time.
Okay, first scene, we're both waiting for a really slow elevator.
Okay, I can do that. Should I start?
Go for it.
This elevator is taking forever, huh?
I know, right? I think it's stuck on the top floor or something.
Honestly, at this point, I could have just taken the stairs. Are you heading all the way up too?
Yeah, floor 9. Feels like a small workout just waiting for this thing. See, that felt so natural, right? Notice, comment, question, and then a little joke at the end.
It really did. Okay, let's try another one. This time, a coffee shop and you're waiting for your order.
Okay, I love this one. Go ahead, start.
Wow, it's really busy in here today.
I know, I've never seen it this packed. Do you usually come here in the mornings?
Actually, this is my first time. A friend recommended. Is it always this popular?
Pretty much every day, honestly, but the coffee's totally worth the wait.
See, that flowed so naturally, and honestly, it didn't need any complicated vocabulary at all.
Not at all, just simple, warm sentences. Okay, one more. Let's do a work situation, like meeting someone new at the office kitchen.
Perfect, let's do it. You start this time.
Hey, I don't think we've met yet. I'm Brian from the design team.
Oh, hi, I'm Mary. I just started last week, actually, in marketing.
Oh, nice. Welcome. How's your first week been so far?
Honestly, a little overwhelming, but everyone's been really friendly, so that helps a lot.
That's good to hear. It does get easier after the first couple of weeks, trust me.
Okay, that one felt especially useful because starting a new job is such a common real-life situation for so many people listening.
Definitely. And notice how none of these conversations needed advanced grammar or fancy words, just simple, warm, natural sentences.
Which I think is honestly the biggest lesson here. Small talk doesn't reward complicated English. It rewards warmth and simplicity.
Exactly. And the more you practice these little patterns, the more automatic they become, until eventually you don't even have to think about it.
Okay, but what happens when, despite everything, the conversation still goes quiet? Like real silence?
Ah, yes, the dreaded silence. Let's talk about exactly what to do when that happens.
Okay, so let's be honest. Sometimes even with all these tools, there's still going to be an awkward pause.
Oh, 100%. Silence happens, even to native speakers, honestly.
Really? Even native speakers deal with awkward silence?
All the time. The difference is they don't panic about it the way learners often do. They just see it as a normal little pause, not a disaster.
Okay, so what's the actual trick when that happens? Like, what can you say?
One of my favorite tricks is just gently commenting on something new in the environment. Like if you're at a party and the music changes, you could say, "Oh, I love this song."
Oh, that's smart because it doesn't force anything. It's just a light little bridge into a new topic.
Exactly. Or you can ask a simple, easy follow-up question about something they already mentioned earlier. Like, "So, you said you just moved here. How's that going so far?"
Going back to something they said earlier, so it feels connected, not random.
Right. And honestly, sometimes it's totally fine to just smile and let the silence sit for a second. It doesn't have to be filled immediately.
That's such a relief to hear, actually, because I think learners feel this huge pressure that silence equals failure.
But it really doesn't. A short pause is completely normal in real conversations. The panic we feel about it is usually much bigger than how it actually looks from the outside.
Which is kind of the theme of this whole channel, honestly. The fear in our heads is almost always bigger than the reality.
Exactly. So next time there's a pause, just breathe, glance around for something new to comment on, or gently return to something from earlier in the conversation.
Okay, I actually feel a lot calmer about this already. Silence isn't the enemy, panicking about silence is the enemy.
Perfectly said.
Okay, so first thing, small talk feels hard because it's unpredictable, there's no script, and there's a little social pressure involved.
But it's not because your English isn't good enough. It's genuinely its own separate skill.
Second, the real goal of small talk isn't information, it's connection. You don't need clever words, just warmth.
Third, the toolbox. Notice something, make a light comment, and open it up with a small question.
And when responding, react, add a tiny bit extra, and pass the conversation back with your own question.
Fourth, silence is completely normal, even for native speakers. It's not a failure, it's just a pause.
And finally, small talk habits can differ around the world, and that's completely okay too.
Honestly, I think if people just remember one thing from today, it should be this. Small talk isn't a test. It's just a friendly little bridge between two people.
I love that. And every single time you practice it, even a tiny bit, it gets easier.
A little braver every time.
Exactly.
So that's it for today's episode. Thank you for sticking with us through my very long, unnecessary life story and Mary's very confident, yeah.
We're both a work in progress, clearly.
Aren't we all? So here's what we want to know from you. What's your go-to small talk topic? Weather? Food? Something else entirely?
Drop it in the comments below. We're genuinely curious what people talk about around the world.
And if this episode helped you feel a little more confident about small talk, do us a favor and hit that like button.
It really helps more learners find episodes like this one.
And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, because we've got a lot more real, practical episodes like this coming very soon.
All right, we'll see you in the next one.
Take care and go start a little small talk today. You've got this.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.